So Mim Tea, Salsa Nazis is such a great book. How did you come up with the story?
Well, it all began with a story from my husband Hernan. He told me of his childhood encounters with German Nazism in the basement of the home of his best friend, Kay, a Colombian-born German, in the 1970s. At first I was amused, but then I thought, wait, what? Nazis in Colombia? I had heard of Nazis escaping to Argentina and Brazil, but Colombia? To hear that story, you will have to read or listen to Salsa Nazis Book 2. In the 2000s, with my daughter, I wandered that same neighborhood many times and was struck particularly by one palatial residence which was hidden behind a tall hedge of thick pine and guarded by a turreted concrete gate. On Google Earth, the property was named quite clearly Finca de Himmler, Himmler's farm. It confirmed my theory that there was more afoot here than was in the history books. Then many years later, looking again at the forested hillside on Google Earth, I saw the name of Finca de Himmler had been scratched out. Enthralled and appalled at the same time, I sought to investigate why, and so this book was born.
That must have been a shock. Salsa Nazis is based on real life, but when you read the book, there are so many footnotes and a big bibliography, so there is a lot of history in there. How long did it take you to research it?
It took about 3 years to research and write it, using multiple sources, and so my waking hours when I wasn't working were filled with the stories I was reading. You know what? The history was fascinating to me, and actually more shocking than you can believe.
Mim Tea, so truth is stranger than fiction? Let me ask you, how did you decide on such a great title?
Well, that is all in the main protagonist, Miniver Weber. She loves to salsa. In Book 2, we meet another character who loves to dance salsa too.
Now you are teasing us. Who is the excellent spy Minnie Weber based on?
Minnie is definitely based on my daughter, Annie Beatrice Lola. She is such a strong and fearless woman. Minnie is also a meld of women spies I read about. They lived such incredible lives, and we don't hear about them. The spy world is always dominated by men, but I wanted to pay homage to women spies. They really forged the path for women generally, and from what I have read, wouldn't even take credit for it. Remarkable women.
I see what you mean. I guess we, as readers or listeners to Salsa Nazis, we think danger and romance. There is a bit of romance and lots of danger. Care to comment?
What is a good story without danger and sex? Sure, we have a few sexual liaisons, but I didn't want this book to fall into that trap. I wanted Minnie to be strong and fierce and full of self-doubt at the same time while surviving incredible perils.
You mentioned that you were writing Salsa Nazis Book 1, The Reich is Global, whilst you were working. What kind of work?
Well, my husband and I have owned and run a transport and logistics company for 2 decades.
Trucking by day and spy by night? So how do you manage? What is your writing method?
For me, I start with a plan, a map, lots of background reading, and then begin. But you know what? The characters take over, and it is almost as if they write themselves into existence. Sometimes I listen to the audiobook and I think, how did I write all that?
So, like artists, you are taken by the muse? That is very interesting. Last question, where does Minnie go from here? She isn't young, which is something I personally love. What is going to happen to Minnie in Book 2?
Well, that is for me and Minnie to know, and for you to find out.
If you tell me, you'd have to kill me?
That is correct, except it wouldn't be me. It would be the fearless spy, Miniver Weber.
Well, Mim Tea, thank you. We love your book, Salsa Nazis, and cannot wait for Book 2. May Minnie live forever.